Hello and welcome to Nice Ethereal Epiphanies. This is my channel where I talk about all the things. I actually need to change this intro and make it better, but for now, I'll keep it as all the things. So in today's video, I want to talk about something that's a bit embarrassing, okay? But I'm all about honesty and recognizing when things are not going well and when you make mistakes and when you could do things better. So, in a video I did recently about the 13 books I read every year, I said in that video that I don't read Atomic Habits anymore every year because I think I got it all down pat. And then I realized, no, I don't. In fact, I realized that I still do struggle with some bad habits because I was watching back that video and I was like, actually, I do have some bad habits. And I think that when I'm in a state of survival mode, I kind of just do whatever to just get through that time in life. And I realize that I've been kind of doing that now. And for example, I also mentioned in another video that I had a family member that I noticed they drowned out their problems with TV. In fact, many people do that. They drown out their problems by immersing themselves in like nonstop television, or anything where they don't have to actually think and do. So then I was like, yeah, but Naya, you're doing the same thing. I had to have a conversation with myself, like, you're doing the same thing. Because I have said multiple times on this channel that there's all these things I want to do this month, work on my products, my software that I'm building. I want to do more on this channel. I want to talk more, etc. I have all these goals. But I realized my bad habit that I have is consuming too much and not creating. So consuming too much and creating little. And what's really funny is that as someone who's been a business owner for a very long time, usually when I'm not in this state of like survival mode that I've been in the past almost 2 years now, I was on my game. I would wake, and the thing is, what many people don't realize is really hard is that when you don't work for someone else, you have to make sure that you stick to a routine. You have to make sure that you're getting up and you're doing work for yourself, for clients, etc. There's no one to kind of be like, on Slack, hey, we're doing a stand up today, or there's no one to kind of look behind you, so to say. And so when you have your own business, your own practice, your freelancer, et cetera, you have to act as if you're going to work. And so because of that, I always had really great habits because I would just be like, okay, you know what, even though I'm working for myself, that doesn't mean that I get to slack off. It doesn't mean that I get to wake up at any time I want to every day. At first, I did think that, and I did do that. And my business was still okay, but my business got better when I had better habits. I had a strict schedule which I adjusted from time to time, like, that's the beauty of working for yourself is that most people do because they want that flexibility, or is autonomy the right word that I'm looking for? But they want to be able to have a more flexible lifestyle, or simply because they just don't enjoy corporate America, or, corporate in general, or, it's just not for them. And so something that I used to do was like, I kept a schedule. The thing is, being neurodivergent, it is hard for me to stick to a schedule, especially if I get bored or it's not working for me. So I try to do every quarter, I change up my schedule. And so what I would do is, okay, like for this quarter, I work Monday through Thursday from this hour to this hour. And I'm not a morning person. So for years now, like I haven't had a job or when I worked for myself where I had to get up early before 10 o'clock. I mean, not get up, but be to work before 10 o'clock or start working before 10 o'clock. Even when I was in New York City, the last few jobs that I had there, the same thing. Like everyone came in at 10. I came in at anywhere between 8:45 and 10 o'clock, depending on, you know, how I felt like it. But anyway, the point is that when I kept these routines, I was also creating more, doing more, working more, and being successful in my work when I had routines. And I said, sorry, because I was like thinking of something else when I had routines and when I kept up good habits. And so that's like my little confession today is that I realize that I do have a bad habit because I've been going through a lot. I've got into a bad habit. And because I'm going through a lot and because I'm just trying to figure life out and work and what income means for me now and what all, just trying to figure out all the things, I realize that I've been consuming lots of YouTube videos, like an embarrassing amount. Very embarrassing amount. I don't even wanna tell you guys how many tabs I have open right now with YouTube. Probably about 30. Let me see. Did I oh, yeah, I minimized it, but I have probably have, like, anywhere between 20 and 30 tabs of YouTube videos. And so I was like looking at this, that made me realize, like, why and that's why I jumped on this video today, because 'cause I'm like, "Why are you sitting here listening to all this stuff?" And the thing is, when it comes to learning, so my point was that I like to listen to YouTube videos, like, in the background to learn and stuff, but I realized it actually does distract me a little bit, and I find that like, I feel like maybe I'm behind and I'm not doing enough, or what I'm doing is not good enough. And so I've fallen into this fallacy almost where I'm just like, oh, well, if I just find the right video that will help me to do this, then maybe I will be able to finally monetize my channel or make more money. But you can't do that by simply consuming and not creating. So I just had like this epiphany today that hello, girl. So I used to get back into my old habits. So what I used to do when I worked for myself, when I worked for others, is I would set like time blocks during the day for consuming. So I used to schedule. So before I had an application that would prevent me from accessing certain applications during certain times. And but then I stopped using them because it just became natural to me, but I didn't realize that those are helping keep me in line. So now that I haven't really been using them as much, I've fallen way out of line. Where now, as I'm working and stuff, I'm listening to YouTube videos and now I'm stopping and then I'm listening to a video. And the next thing you know, 2 hours have passed by, and that's 2 hours that I could have spent creating something. And again, I think that what ends up happening with me, I don't know if anyone else, any of you that are also creators, what I end up doing is falling into this fallacy of, well, this is time well spent because I'm learning and eventually it's going to help me. But no, like I think there comes a certain point in time when learning is enough and you have to do and create. So, and having this epiphany and realizing I have to make a change if I really want to get myself out of this situation in the next 20 wait, hold on 1 second. Wait, there's 30 days this month, right? Let me see. Because, I got dyscalculia and today is the 7th. So the next 20, oh yeah, I should have actually, I used to have a countdown counter on my desktop. I should add that back. But if I want to make some sort of change in the next 23 days, I have to be more focused. I have to go back to old Naya, being more focused, having a plan, setting a routine, checking in on my habits, make sure I'm not falling out of good habits and sorry, yeah, falling out of good habits and falling into bad habits. So that's something that like I have to get back on track with. What's really funny is how I said I was talking about atomic habits and I gotta read that again. Actually, I should. I should read it again because I looked back at my notes and what I had about where is it? Let me just find it. So I wrote this note that the book talks about um in order to change your behavior and in order to break bad habits, you have to make certain things invisible or hard to access. So, for example, I've struggled with my weight the past couple of years. And one thing that I've always done, knowing that I have, problems where I'm like up and down, is I don't keep anything in the house, right? So that's me making sweets unattractive. So I never, wherever I'm staying, I don't keep sugar in the house ever, 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 unless I'm making something for someone else. I don't keep sweets in the house ever, chips, none of that stuff. And that helped me to foster better eating habits. But as far as talking about creativity and consuming and creating, this book has definitely helped me to realize I have to create of like a barrier. I had to make it harder for myself to fall into the bad habit of watching YouTube for too many hours, right? So what I was doing before is that one, I was using an application called Timely that would tell me how much time and I use Timely because it's AI powered, so I don't have to sit there because like I know there's another one toggle that many people love, like in the productivity space and tech world. They love that, but I cannot stand it because if you don't remember to enter in, to start the timer and stop it for each task, like then you end up with incorrect data and information. So I don't really like Toggle because of that. But I love Timely because Timely just looks at my browser and my desktop and just says, okay, this is everything that you're spending time on. So that helps me to see where I might be falling behind and maybe consuming more than creating. So that's one thing that I do. But also the big thing for me that I guess I probably should mention earlier is that I don't have any social media apps on my phone. I occasionally put Instagram off and on. Like sometimes, like if I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't go back to sleep, I might doom scroll for a bit, but no social media apps on my phone at all. So that helps, right? So this way I don't have to worry about like a software tracking anything or blocking anything. The biggest thing that really keeps me on track and having good habits and working habits and as an entrepreneur and creator is Freedom. So actually, so I use Freedom to block things in 4 to 6 hour time blocks. And I have been using it lately, but what I was doing wrong was not blocking YouTube because I love the Brazilian lo-fi music. So that's why I didn't block it before. But then what ended up happening is, as I said, then I fall into this bad habit of watching too many videos. And like, then as it happens, oh, like I want to research this and just watch one video. And then I click 10 more. And that's during the time that I should be focusing. So, the change I'm going to make today is that I'm going to get back to using Freedom regularly. I'm going to build it into my schedule again, make sure that I'm using it every single day, and I'm going to block everything, everything. So, all social media and all video. And Freedom actually, in their web application, they have like different sort of like focus music. So I'm just gonna do that, or I'm just gonna buy maybe a couple of lo-fi songs that I could, or actually I could use Spotify. There's so many other options that I could have besides using YouTube. So my thing is I don't want to like the time, like time for me is precious right now. So I don't want to be spending too much time on YouTube during the day, especially when I should be working and focusing. Especially, I don't know if you all have this, but I have times throughout the day where I have a lot more energy than other times. And those times, especially when I'm like high energy, I should be spending that focusing, building, creating, etc. So I'm going back to that starting today, where I will be time blocking everything again. During those time blocks where I'm supposed to be creating and not consuming, I'm going to use Freedom to block all distractions, all different types of media that's not like lo-fi, or I actually really love to listen to Beethoven. And so I just might stick to that during those times. And then go back to what I was doing before, where if I was eating lunch or dinner, that would be my consumption time. So I think that's the best thing. Like how many videos can I watch of someone being like, "This is how you monetize YouTube. This is how you do your thumbnails." How many times can I watch the same types of videos? I'm not really learning much else. Everyone's kind of saying the same thing. So that's something that I realized that I can do better with, and I will do better with. I'm going back to how I used to do things before and how I used to be quite productive before. And I'm going to do as James Clear says in Atomic Habits, I'm going to make things invisible and unattractive. Like another thing that I forgot to mention that I even do it with my phone, even sometimes. What I used to do when I lived in Europe is that I used to actually put my phone and stuff like in a box so that I had multiple different computers. And but I had one computer that was like my focus computer that didn't have anything on it except for Slack, Notion, a couple of things like, it had all of my software development stuff, but it didn't have, but actually I had blocked, I set the software, blocked everything else, and I didn't have any sort of like entertainment on that computer. And I used to lock everything in a box. So, there's so many different things that you can do, even like at nighttime for a while. I used to put my phone in the living room until I had a medical emergency, which I would never do that again. If you live alone, have at least one device, okay, something that you can call for help. Because I was laying there on the floor for 8 hours and I couldn't even crawl to the living room to get out. But I will say though that that really helped me in like getting adequate sleep, not doom scrolling, and when I would need to just get things done and work, just having my phone in a different room really helped. Also, sometimes like it helps too, like if you don't feel like getting up, then you're forced to focus. So yeah, maybe I should read Atomic Habits again, because yeah, I just feel like, girl, you do have some habits that you have to work on. So yeah, maybe I'll do. By the way, really funny, quickly. Years ago, when I think I mentioned before that I wanted to do YouTube, blah blah blah. Thought I was going to be like this productivity IT guru, etc. And so I have lots of great, I mean, I think they're great productivity tips for people that are neurodivergent. I learned a lot of things over the years. So maybe I'll also share a little bit other things that I do. I know that I actually wrote in Ethereal Epiphany of like how I manage my time having ADHD. And so maybe if you all are interested, I might do something on that and give a little bit more detail of like exactly what I do and what worked and what didn't for me. The thing is about being like neurodivergent is that for some people, some methods and systems will work really great. And for others, they're like, no. So the great thing is that I think now that more people are talking about being neurodivergent and having ADHD is that you have so many people now that, maybe if let's say you talk to 10 people that have ADHD and they all might give you advice, but maybe only one or two of them might give you advice that actually works for you because everyone is so different and their brains are so different. So I think it is helpful that the more of us that share, even if it just helps one person, that's great, right? So yeah, maybe I'll do that in another video. But yeah, once I finish with this, I'm actually going to set up Freedom better so that it blocks. Maybe I shouldn't say block YouTube so much. But yeah, actually, I'm probably gonna just edit all that out. I don't know. I'll see what happens. But yeah, that's something that I have to do today. So when I get off of here, I do have to watch some of those videos. I do have to watch some of them because I do need it to do some of my work. But once I'm done, like the ones that I don't need, and once I'm done in general, I'm gonna close all of the tabs. I'm going to focus and I'm going to get things done. And actually speaking of the word focus, there's an app by Freedom called Insight by Freedom. So by the way, so I mentioned earlier Timely, and Timely is I think it's like $11 a month or $14 per month, which can to me, we're all paying for so many different, so many different software and subscriptions that, and that all adds up, right? So when I have the money to, I use Timely because it's amazing. There's no thinking about it. But as a backup, I always use two other tools. And I also like to compare just to see the accuracy between the tools. I also use Insight by Freedom and I also use ActivityWatch, and these are just applications that like you get them access to your browser and your desktop if you want to. And they tell you how much time you've spent in different applications, doing different tasks, etc. And I believe ActivityWatch is free and open source. And I believe Insight by Freedom. I'm not for sure if it comes with a subscription because I bought a lifetime subscription. So I'm not sure if it comes with the subscription or if it's available as a free Chrome extension, but I'll add those in the video and in the description. I know I say that a lot and sometimes I forget. I'm sorry. So this time I will definitely do it. I'm actually gonna write it in my to-do list today to do that. So yeah, and maybe if I do that productivity video, I'll show you guys, how these tools look and how I use them. I'm looking now, and how sad is this? That literally Insight by Freedom, the amount of hours I spend listening to YouTube videos is abysmal. It really is. It is embarrassing. That's what I said earlier in the beginning of this video. This is embarrassing. I'm not even joking. I'll probably add a screenshot 'cause it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Okay, so I use YouTube like 1,000 times more than X.com, Airtable, Blue Sky, LinkedIn. That one said I need to be on. Yeah, the job search should be more than everything else, really. Um, Chat GPT, Claude, it browser use. I believe that's the AI agent. Wow, it's just like all the way out there. Wow, that's gotta change that. In fact, so that shows you like different views. It shows you today, yesterday, this week, and last week. Okay, how about this? Next week, when I look back at this chart, I want YouTube to be all the way at the back and everything else in the front. Everything productive in the front. That's a shame. Anyway, thank you for listening. By the way, what habits do you have to kick? Do you have any habits that you're like, it's 2025 and I need to get this money? I gotta kick these habits. Please tell me. What habits would you like to kick this year? Also, do you have an accountability partner? Because I forgot to mention earlier when I was, trying to be more conscious about my weight. Not was, I still am. I had an accountability partner, so we would text each other and just be like, "Hey, send me a picture of what you're eating for today," and it'll make you feel guilty if you're eating like a burger and fries. So do you have someone that you do that with when it comes to content creation? If you do content creation or just any task in life, I want to hear that. Uh, yeah. So please share. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to today's Ethereal Epiphany and my confession of this bad habit. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are. And I would love it if you were to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Thank you. I'm noticing the subscriber count is going up. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying things here. And yeah, have a great day. Stay warm because if you're in the US and I know there's a storm going on here, stay warm, stay well, stay healthy, break your bad habits, and I will see you soon. Bye.